Hey, good morning. We're talking about how to protect yourself and the people around you. And we're also talking about how to destroy yourself and the people around you. We're looking at Proverbs chapter 12, verse 5. This is Walk and Talk 289, December 11th. There's a single mom who stepped into chaos recently. There's also a young teenager who stepped out of chaos and started protecting themselves. I'm encouraging you to think about the lies and the liars and the chaos and the destruction that comes from lies and liars. Now, usually we don't think of ourselves as liars, but I'm asking you to think about your own lies, your own capacity to deceive, to manipulate, to destroy. Proverbs chapter 12, verse 5 says that in your mind, in your thoughts, in your ideas, we plot, we scheme, we manipulate. You have two choices constantly. Proverbs chapter 12, verse 5 says the thoughts of the righteous are just, but the counsels of the wicked are deceitful. Proverbs 12:5. So you have on any second or any minute in your brain, there's these ideas, these thoughts, these feelings, and you have basically the choice to lie or the choice of truth. So you can be telling yourself the truth or telling yourself a lie. I'm encouraging you in this walk and talk that lies and liars create chaos. They bring about problems, destruction. But someone who tells the truth, or who is just, or who is willing to be honest, they end up protecting. So you have a world of chaos and pain and suffering when you start to think about lies. So I'm encouraging you through some very practical suggestions. First off, always remember thoughts, ideas, decisions come from your own capacity. So the key is, for right now, don't worry about other individuals. Just think about your own thoughts, how you develop your ideas. There's a beginning point in your own thinking, and that beginning point can be a lie and make you potentially a liar if you express that lie or live out that lie. Or you can start with truth and be a truth teller and be just and not a liar. You can choose to do right, not evil. So at the beginning of our ideas, at the beginning of our thoughts, at the beginning of our sentence, I'm encouraging you to always remember a word called presupposition. Presupposition talks about the beginning, or like the origin of things. How does a lie get started? How does destruction get started? How do we become liars? And it originates in your thoughts and your ideas. Now, your ideas can hold a lie, or your ideas or your thoughts can hold the truth. Sometimes there's a battle in your ideas and your thoughts in your brain, a battle going on between the lie and the truth. So originally, as you're starting to process an idea, you have to examine the beginning of your thought. Call it the foundation. You have to examine what's pushing this idea. Is a lie pushing my thoughts? Or is truth the foundation of my ideas, my plots, my decision making? I'm encouraging you in this Walk and Talk 289. You have to evaluate the lie of the beginning of your idea. If you want to avoid chaos, if you want to avoid destruction, find the lie in your thought process. Every idea can be completely a lie, or it can be completely the truth, or it can be partially a lie and partially the truth. You have to evaluate your own ideas, and if you don't, you become the liar. You become the person who lives by lies and brings chaos. When I said to this one single mom, I said, life can get pretty complicated. Life can get pretty simple quickly. Life can go upside down quickly when you live by a lie. But when you live by the truth, life is much easier, better. So, according to Proverbs 12:5, the thoughts of the righteous are just, but the counsels of the wicked are deceitful. This little verse is simply saying, you have a choice. Are my ideas, my thoughts, righteous, right, true, or are they wicked, evil? The devil is a liar, the Bible says. The devil takes lies and destroys. Jesus said he's the truth. Jesus said he's the good shepherd. So I'm encouraging you to recognize your thoughts and your ideas in your brain can be true and they can be false. And you have to evaluate constantly. Evaluate, assess, cross-examine before these ideas, before your thoughts are released. Examine them. This introspection, this self-evaluation constantly is ongoing. So you're recycling in your brain your ideas. Is this right? Is this wrong? What does the Bible say about this? Where will this thought, this idea lead me? So following Jesus puts you at least headed toward truth. Following the devil, the lie. So you have to make a choice every day. Am I going to follow Jesus, or am I going to follow the devil? Every day we make a choice about our own decisions, and I'm encouraging you in this walk and talk, take your life and follow Jesus, because Jesus is true north. Jesus is the truth. He's the good shepherd. Jesus is the originator of truth. And the Bible says that the devil is the originator of the lie. The devil, Satan, said he wanted to be like God and be independent and basically steal from God. I'm encouraging you in this walk and talk. Lies and liars destroy. And you don't have to lie. You don't have to destroy. You don't have to live in chaos. You can evaluate your own thoughts and determine, is there a lie in my own thoughts? Am I cheating? Am I caught up in chaos that I created? You don't have to live in destruction. You can live in peace and harmony just by making sure that you're following Jesus, and your ideas, the thoughts that you have, are righteous. Proverbs chapter 12 verse 5 says, the thoughts of the righteous are just. In other words, just is good. Just is the idea of fairness, of balance, of honoring to God. Practical suggestion: always evaluate what you're feeling, what you're thinking, because the wicked, your own ideas are talking to you. Your own thoughts are cross-examining. And sometimes the devil is in the details of your own thoughts. And before that thought turns into an action, or before that thought in your brain turns into words or a decision, am I following Jesus or am I following a lie? And always remember, a lie expressed makes you a liar. And when you express a lie, that lie will create disorder, chaos, destruction. For you and for the people around you, we think that when we lie, when we deceive, when we manipulate, when we cheat, that somehow that's going to make things better. I'm just simply saying to you that the counsel of the wicked are deceitful. And the counsel refers to plots going on in your brain, thoughts, decisions that you make that are chaotic, foolish. Let me give you a practical suggestion. Lies and liars destroy. But when you live by truth and you tell the truth, when you tell yourself and others what Jesus says is right and wrong, that leads to justice. That leads to good. That leads to organized peace. If your life is broken, examine. What lies are you caught up in? Recently, someone said to me, I have this problem. I can't keep a job. And I said, how come? And they said, well, because I don't like it, and they don't like me. And I said, well, what is it that you don't like? And they simply said, I don't like people telling me what to do. And I said to them, did they ask you to do something wrong? And the individual said, no. And I said, so then you have a job, and there's a job to do, and you get paid if you do the job, and you don't get paid if you don't do the job. See, at the origin, or at the beginning of this individual, they think they're independent. They think they can do anything they want. When you follow Jesus, when you follow the Bible, there is right and wrong, and independence leads to problems. You can't be independent of God. You can't be independent of Jesus. You have to recognize that you're following Jesus. The Bible makes it quite clear that we are to do good. We're to be just. And when you make an agreement to work, then you have one choice. And that choice simply is follow the contract. Do what was said. I'm encouraging you in this walk and talk. What's going on in your brain? What's going on with your thoughts? If there's lies in your thoughts, half-truths, like you want to be independent, but you don't want to follow Jesus, you don't want to do what you agreed to do, you become a liar, and you become destructive. You create your own chaos. It seems to me, as I watch life go on inside of my brain and watch others, that lies against the truth don't help me, they hurt me. When I lie and I'm not obeying the truth, and the truth is Jesus, and the truth is the principles in the Bible, then I end up creating my own problems. I'm simply saying in this walk and talk, many individuals create their own chaos, their own problems. Every day of your life, examine your ideas, your thoughts, before they become a decision. Examine before you say the word. Evaluate the word that is behind the decision. Evaluate what you're feeling. Oftentimes, our feelings, our thoughts are mixed in both sides of the ledger, pluses as well as minuses, positives, negative, good, bad, constantly. There's always the opportunity for the deception to occur. There's always the opportunity for the liar, for the cheater. There's always the opportunity for any one of us to not live in truth, but live in a lie. And it's these lies that turn you into a liar, and you bring about your own problems simply because you are choosing not to follow Jesus. If Jesus is truth, and that's what the Bible says, if Jesus is good, if Jesus is just, and that's what the Bible says, he's God, and you're not following Jesus, then you're following the lies created by Satan, by the devil. The devil is a liar. The devil is a destroyer. I'm encouraging you in this walk and talk. Take your life and evaluate, examine your thoughts, your ideas, your decisions in your brain before you let them out, before you act on them, before you step out and implement, to make sure that you're not creating more problems for yourself, chaos, and you're not creating problems for those around you. You don't want to be the person that creates the chaos or encourages the chaos or supports the chaos, the destruction. In this walk and talk, Proverbs 12:5 says, "The thoughts of the righteous are just, but the counsels of the wicked are deceitful." All deceit, all wicked comes from lies, comes from complete opposite of God. And the opposite of God is evil. And the originator of evil is the devil, Satan. This is Walk and Talk 289, December 11th. Live only in the truth of Jesus. Don't get caught up in your thoughts and ideas with lies. You don't want to destroy. You want to build up. You want to be helpful, not destructive. You're invited to worship with us this coming Sunday at 9:30 and 11 at First Baptist Church, Tempe, Arizona, 4525 South McClintock. I encourage you to come early, find some coffee in the cafe, and just enjoy. So we have small groups throughout the morning on Sunday as well as throughout the week for all ages, and great opportunity for you to get behind Jesus, get behind the truth, and step away from the lies that create problems for us. You can contact the church at 480-839-0926. You can check out the church on the website, fbc-tempe.org. You can send an email or call the church and ask for a staff member and get some opportunities for assistance in your desire not to lie, but to follow the truth. It's a great day to be just. It's a great day to be good. It's a great day to follow Jesus, because he's the truth, not the lie. You don't want to be a liar, because the lies from that liar bring about deceitfulness. And you know where all that leads. Pain, suffering. Blessings on you.